Okay, are we all ready? Good, alright. The next sort of 30 minutes or so are all going to be about effective community leadership. So the way we're going to start this off with is a series of games. But before we do that, let's just go over the definition again. So we said community leadership was, the community part was beyond individual-minded thinking, so thinking as a community rather than more sort of self-centered. And the other sort of crucial pillar is the leadership is defined as potential within all of us to take on responsibility. So it's not exclusive to one person or another. There's a leader within all of us. Okay, and we're talking about effective community leadership. So let's start with just showing you what we're sort of going to cover in the next few slides. So let's see. So we've got there's a few highlights that we wanted to share with you. So they're sort of you can think of them as it's not quite related to the rest of the workshop. Everything before was a particular sort of piece, and this one is just little bits of advice here and there. So it's going to be a little bit patchy, but try and knit it to what we've discussed in the previous sort of sessions. So we're going to start with talking about the difference between a leader or a manager. Then we're going to cover a leadership as a journey, and then how a leader inspires, and serving the community, working with others, and then we're going to explore John Adair's generic role of a leader. And I'm not sure if you remember what we said who John Adair was, but he's the Professor of Leadership Studies in University of Surrey. So a very well read man on the topic of leadership, so it's good to get his views across. And actually a lot of what we're going to discuss a little bit later on is actually based on his theories. So it's not my own, it's from John Adair's one. Okay, so let's start with leader or manager. So this is a bit more of an activity. So you guys have got some chalkboards in front of you. What I want you to do is just don't do anything at the moment. So the game it's just sort of a sort of interactive here. We've got a parrot here, and the parrot is basically what a leader is rather than a manager. So a leader is something that's looking, at the broad overview of what's going on. They're not particularly involved with any particular tasks, but they are sort of managing people and taking a sort of have a step back and they're overseeing things. I won't say too much because I want to hear what you guys think about it. And then on the other side, we've got another bird, and this bird is his head in the sand. So this is when you sort of take on the role of getting really into the detail of something and kind of forget what's happening around you as a sort of team role. So we would say this is more sort of manager style, which I know it sounds like a bit of a silly picture, but I'm not saying that managers are silly. I'm just saying there's a difference. And what this little activity is about is appreciating that difference, so that when you guys go into doing whatever amazing things you guys are going to do, you know which sort of aspect you're following and which one maybe you need to be at, because it's very easy to slip into either, and it happens to me, it happens to all of us. Okay, so what I want you to do is draw on your little chalkboards a flying bird sort of thing and a bird with his head in the sand. And what I want you to do is quite important. I need you to have the flying bird, let's say if it's long ways, let's say it's this piece of paper, the flying bird up here and below to have the bird with his head in the sand, but actually upside down. Because what I'm going to get you to do is, whether you think this is a manager thing, stick your thing up, and whatever on the top is what you think as a group it is. Yeah, you guys got it. The other way around. Beautiful. That person or that word relates to either a leader, bird in the sky, or a manager, so head in the ground. Okay, so the first word is administers. So why did your group choose to have a bird in the sand for administers?
Because the team manager has the day-to-day responsibilities.
Okay. Yeah?
Frontline responsibilities.
Okay. Good. Everyone happy with that? Anything to add? Okay. Anything to add? Okay, next word. The next word is develops. Develops.
So developer.
What do you think? So we've got answers from all but one table. The table above us as well.
Yeah, but a developer. Wait, is it developer?
Okay, so we've got. Have you guys chosen? Okay, so we've got leader, 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 and leader. That's an amazing feature, by the way. Yeah, so all leaders. So let's hear from this table. Why did you guys choose leader?
Because the leader develops the plan and they don't carry out.
Guys, did you hear what she said? So yeah, go on.
They develop a plan but they don't carry out.
Okay, so they develop a plan, but they don't actually have to carry out the plan. In agreement with that? Anything to add? Okay. All right. So next one. So focuses on systems and structure. The sand in that table. On the back table we've got sandhead bird. Right there. And this one we've actually got both. We put it sideways. And Abbas, you don't matter. Abbas put head in the sand as well. So okay, why did you have trouble deciding which one it was?
I think we had a split in the group. Half of us thought leader, the others thought manager. But I went with the leader. I think. What was the question again?
Focuses on systems and structure.
I think it's the leader because they're the one with the visions and aims. Therefore, they're the ones that set the structure. But then I suppose it's the manager that ensures that they're followed. I think it's one of those tricky ones.
Give you another one. This is a situation. I was upstairs a few hours ago, stapling all those handouts that you've got, and I spent about 40 minutes doing. And before that, I was printing them all. What role was I playing? Was I a manager or was I a leader? Was I a bird in the sky or was I my head in the sand?
Manager.
I need boards. Come on. Okay, so you guys are saying
Manager.
manager. You're saying slightly diagonal. Okay. Right, but more leader than anything else. And leader, would you say, or more of a manager?
At that time, you're more of a manager, but the thing you're doing it for is kind of leadership because you're like organizing it, everything, and trying to like direct it into a path or like the people will benefit.
Yeah. Very interesting. Okay. Alright, Uzma, what do you think?
I think that's a leadership trait. Because sometimes as a leader you have to do things that a manager does or your team members do. And so unless a leader, unless the person who's leading the organization doesn't experience the tasks that their team does on a day-to-day basis, they won't be able to actually connect to their team and grow as an organization. So I think that's a leadership.
Some very interesting points, and I'll reflect on that as well. So another word, has a long-term view. What's that? What was that? Okay. Flying bird here, flying bird there, flying bird there, flying bird there, flying bird there. Okay. Unanimous. We all say that's the role of a leader. So the topic was has a long-term view. So if these things sort of can happen in the future. And let's forget that we're supposed to have a break here. We're going to actually focus on this a bit more because that's actually hitting the aim of this project. So these sorts of thoughts are allowed to take place if you sort of have that sort of zoomed-out view. It's very often in leadership that you end up having to do everything, and definitely at the beginning you tend to have to do everything. You have to be both a leader and a manager, and sometimes you actually play a dual role, which is what Ifra was sort of saying, on people and emotions. So that's what a leader is. It's more in contact with the emotions and of other people, and that's more important to them than the plan. One of the things in some of my experience when I was working with the Islamic Society up in just over there somewhere, we had a meeting, and in that meeting it was a halfway project meeting, and I asked everybody to write 3 things they wanted to achieve by the end of the year, and I did it as well. And one of the third point on it was to see and support the development of the committee members that were there. So actually, I could have written to have a fantastic, awesome event and incredible, successes and something that's talked about for years. But that actually wasn't my aim. My aim was actually for the volunteers, who are the committee members, to actually develop themselves. And the way I enacted that was by allowing them to take roles on that they may not be the best person to actually take that role on, but they show the passion and they can develop a lot from it. So somebody who's a little bit shy but got enough confidence to actually do something, we would get them to actually host an event of 100 people, and that does a lot for a person. So that was actually the focus, and that allowed me also to not worry if things don't go well. If the turnout's bad, then it's okay. If the things don't go to plan, it's okay. What are the learning outcomes? You can learn a lot more from when things go bad than when things go well. Very, very important.